So anyway, guys, so what I'm doing now is just recording my life. So I want to talk it out a bit. I want to be able to talk for myself. See, it's much more how I feel that now, since I'm actually living life much better in some areas, I'm understanding that what I want to do is do better for myself. So I have to always be with the feeling of the cravings that I get from cigarettes and caffeine, and I have to outlast this. I have to be able to go and grow myself. I have to do better for myself personally. So that's the whole point of life, is to make sure that every single day of your life that you're really corresponding to making an attitude of gratitude for yourself to grow and to make sure that you're prospering and that you're really abundant every single day, so that you're understanding how to grow and so that you really understand how to do life better. So it's much more how I feel. See, now what I want to do now is just grow. I just want to develop myself. I feel low on energy right now. I see my body is not tired. I see I'm not tired. I see my brain's not tired at the moment. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling in a way of greatness right now. I'm actually always understanding how to study myself and do better for myself. But I want to help myself to grow and I want to help myself to do better. So what I need to do is I have to connect synonyms and antonyms together. I have to grow, and it's much more how I'm feeling. And I feel that I need to do better. I feel that I need to go and grow. I need to talk to myself daily. I need to find things to say. I need to find something that's going to help my life. And I'm understanding that the more you read, the better for you. So try to always talk it out with yourself. I mean, try to understand, to go through life talking to yourself in a positive way. I mean, whisper to yourself everything about life. I see anyway. I see the more you guys are living life, the better for you. And you have to grow. You have to learn how to grow. I see it's much more how you have to understand to come back to the word I when you speak, and you have to learn every single day something. I see it's much more how I feel like doing Duolingo right now, but at the same time, I feel like talking. I feel like doing something. I feel like just passing by time. I feel I'm dying. I mean, yes, and I feel like I'm dying, but at the same time, I'm growing as well, and I'm doing better than other people in some areas of life. I understand I don't have a white sugar addiction. I'm understanding that I don't need McDonald's. I have tofu, and it's my attitude about life that I need to improve. I have to improve my attitude. I have to make sure every single day of my life I'm doing something positive for myself. I have to make sure I keep on track. I have to keep on track. I have to make sure now, from now on, that I really live life to the best degree that I can. I'm gonna say I don't want to give up. I'm never giving up. I'm never gonna give up. But I need to do better. I need to make sure that my life is proactive and abundant in different ways and different forms. I have to make sure I'm doing something to protect myself to do better. I understand now what I want to do is just grow. I want to learn how to grow myself in the process. And I'm living life to the fullest to some degree. And I'm learning how to grow myself in the process of life. I'm making sure that I'm helping myself to grow. So now I want to help myself to understand much more about life. So what I need to do about life is plan. I have to plan forward. I have to understand to just grow myself differently every single time. I have to make sure I'm doing much better for myself personally. See, life can get very boring. I mean, no woman's gonna want me in this state. I swear. I see. It's much more how if I keep on track, if I keep doing my habits in a better way, I promise you, then I do have a chance to have a beautiful woman by my side. But I'm understanding that I never ever want to grow my muscles to the extent that other people do. I'm understanding that once I reach my best version, I just want to stay at my best version. I understand that gym, I never want to go to the gym. because it costs money, and I can do a more affordable way of life. I can grow myself in a more affordable way, and that's my decision, but that's how I grow. So I'm understanding that I need to go through the feelings, I need to go through the hassle of quitting smoking every single day now, and quitting caffeine, and making sure that I'm getting back on track. I need to talk it out with myself. So every single time I get the craving to have a cigarette, for example, or get the craving to have caffeine in my life, then I want to talk it out. I want to talk it out with myself. I want to just do better. I want to make sure every single day of my life I'm doing better. I mean, the first thing you wake up in the morning is start journaling, and start doing something to journal your life, and breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe, and just breathe much more. And the more you breathe, the better you're going to be. So it's much more how it is. I see now, for example, the more content I create, the better it is for me. I'm always personally growing in different ways, but today I've been slouching. To some degree. I've been reading. I didn't do much Duolingo today. I didn't learn much German today. But I'm trying to grow. I was sleeping. I didn't sleep for about 24 hours, and I went to bed for about 4 hours. I'm still up now. I'm still growing. I'm looking for things to say. I'm looking for things to do. I'm understanding that I want to do better for myself. I have to be away from my father much more. I understand that the moment I go away from my father, the moment I'm going to do better. I promise you. I promise you that this too shall pass. I promise you this shall pass. I promise you my life shall pass me by. And what I can do to pronounce myself much better is to grow myself in different ways, to understand much more about different languages, and reading, and just absorbing and learning and learning and learning and learning and learning and learning and learning. So it's the best thing I can do. So when I do my journal, then I stay away from everybody. I just go into the blue. I go somewhere alone. I do my journal alone from now on. I never want to be creating videos or audios or writing my audio and video programs around other people. I'm understanding that I can journal my life down in writing anywhere, but that's the way it is. And now I'm not required to work. I'm not required to work 9 to 5. I see if Jesus Christ was here right now, I see he would say just keep going. I see Jesus Christ is always here. See, what would Jesus Christ do right now? I promise you, he'll do a life coaching video. I promise you, he'll do a life coaching video 100%. So he'll push himself to grow in different ways. So it's much more how I feel. Anyway, I feel I need to grow. I need to find something to say. I need to do something. I need to find something to tackle in my life. I need to understand to tackle this audio program and just let it be. I need to find much more better ways of thinking. See, life can get very boring at home, but it's much better than a 9 to 5 job for now. I see it's much more how I need to grow, and I need to find different ways of speaking and finding different ways of saying something to grow myself and to really find strategies to grow. I see it's much more when you're actually teaching people. When you're always teaching people, you always find that passion. You always find that recognition that you need to teach. And the more you teach, the better you are. So just keep teaching. Keep sticking to the teaching of things. And that way you're always developing yourself and growing and becoming the best version of yourself and really trying to actually grow. And that's it. Honestly, when you grow yourself, you'll find different ways of saying stuff and different ways of being. But it's the way it is. And now every single one of my YouTube videos has Mega Drive link now, and it's just the way it is. So I'm understanding that what I want to do is do better for myself and grow and learn how to prosper and succeed, and make sure every single day I'm doing something productive for myself to grow. And I'm loving myself every single day now. I'm learning to prosper, I'm learning to become in the moment much more, and I'm helping myself to understand much more about how to live in the moment. And that's it. I promise you, it's much more how you need to grow, and you have to find ways to grow. You have to self-develop yourself. You have to do something to succeed. And the best thing I can do right now is audio program. And why is that? I promise you, it's because you're doing something different and you're expressing your thoughts, and you're making sure every single day you're teaching and you're teaching, and the more you teach, the better you are. And then you find things to say and you find things to do in different ways, and the more you practice, the better you are. And none of my nice and beautiful audio programs or video programs or journaling for each day of my life has been always different. So every single day I'm always developing, I'm looking to develop, and you have to keep developing. You have to keep developing yourself. So it's much more how it is. So what I need to do now is just grow. I need to grow myself. I need to develop. I need to develop myself. I need to always develop. And that's just my meditation, in terms of the way I say things. And when you find things to say, you'll find things in different ways, and you'll grow and you'll express your mind. And the more you express your mind, the better it is for you. But the thing is that when you're craving cigarettes or when you're craving caffeine or drugs, you have to learn to be with the feeling, and you have to learn how to process it. You have to process that feeling of cravings. You have to learn to be in the moment with the feeling. And that's where I used to fail. I used to fail with that, and I'm now just getting on top of that. I'm just learning to be in the moment right now. I'm understanding that right now I'm not craving drugs, I'm not craving anything. I'm following Jesus Christ to the best extent possible right now. But sooner or later that craving for cigarettes is going to come. And then that craving for caffeine is going to come. And then I'm going to feel shitty. I'm going to feel like shit. And now I don't feel like shit. I don't feel like shit in my body. But my brain feels like shit. I realize my brain just fucking always craving drugs. In a sense, so I need to do better there. I need to find ways to deal with my life much better, because I'm making much more problems of my life, and I'm not meant to do that for myself. I'm not meant to make problems for myself, and I have no problems at the moment. I'm understanding that this too shall pass, but I like to speak my mind. I like to grow. I like to be fluent in what I'm saying and doing. So I'm understanding that I have and more than enough for myself over here in terms of my life. I'm understanding that I'm happy with my life. I'm proud of who I am in terms of my wisdom. I have wisdom. I understand something about this life, and that's it. You grow, you learn. I'm pretty sure everybody has different experiences in life. You have to move on. You have to understand that people are doing better than you, and you're doing better than other people, and that's the way it is. I'm not doing the worst out there. Of there are plenty of people out there doing worse than me. But if I quit smoking and caffeine right now, I promise you I'm doing better than most people in that subject. I'm understanding that I have to go through some shit. I'm understanding that for the past 7 months I've been smoking cigarettes. And I bless I. I see for the past 7 months I've been smoking cigarettes, and it's been 7 months already. See, since already August, so September, so October, November, December, January, February, 5 months, guys. I've been smoking cigarettes for 5 months, and I remember when I first started after my 3 year drug-free way of life. I went back to cigarettes, I went back to caffeine, and I really lost the way. Things were going for me. Things were really going for me. And then I crashed. I crashed. I crashed and burned. I crashed and burned in my life, but it's not over yet. See, it's not over yet. I see, as long as my heart's still pumping, I'm gonna keep trying to quit smoking and caffeine forever. I'm understanding that. So, I understand that my disability support pension comes very soon now into my pocket. And what I want to do is, if I go over there to Q Space Hotel for a few days, I can get away from my father, but then I'll be in one little room and I don't want to go because I'm playing poker on Thursday anyway, and it's much more how I'm over and done with, in terms of, I'm not over and done with, I'm done with Q Space Hotel. I understand that if I wasn't travelling to my mum, then I'd be going to Mackay, I'd be going to Launceston, I'd be going to Davenport to go and check it out for myself. I'd be going to Port Lincoln in Adelaide to check it out. I'd be going Phillips Island or Queens Point. I'd be going to different places around Australia. But since I understand now that I'm going to my mum anyway, I have some extra money now. But money doesn't make you happy. Money does not make you happy. But what makes you happy is better habits. And the better your habits, the better you are. So I'm learning that the more I teach you, the better I am in terms of my life, and the more I can teach myself something. So I'm looking to teach myself something in these audio programs and video programs that I do, because that way I grow myself through different ways. And you have to keep just talking. You have to keep learning. You have to keep doing something. So how am I learning right now? I'm learning through the words I speak. I'm learning through my perspective. I'm learning to sharpen my mind, to talk it out. The more you talk it out, the better for you, and the more you can actually grow. So that's what it is. So every single time I do a video, I can pronounce myself in the video for 1 hour. And before, I was unable to do that. I was unable to be on video for 1 hour. I was unable to record myself for 15 seconds. You understand? I was unable to give advice out there. And I was very stupid. I was very stupid. And I thought I knew it all. I thought I was very smart. But I wasn't very smart. I didn't check up on drugs. I didn't read on the internet. I didn't read books. I only started reading books at 22 years of age. I started really developing myself with books. And that's been a real big achievement for me personally, to be able to read all those books that I did. Because that is time and effort put into a better mindset for myself. And I really understand much more better to stay on top of the law and to never break the law, and to really understand that if anything happens with that knife over there and Busby that I threw away into the gutter, I'm gonna blame it on my sickness. And I have no sickness, but I'm gonna blame it on schizophrenia, and I'm gonna be able to pass by much quicker. because I heard someone else, in terms of someone else killed somebody, and they blamed it on their schizophrenia, and they never had to go to prison for killing somebody. So they went to a mental health institute, and it's not all that bad now. I'm understanding that I was very paranoid in hospital over there. I thought my dad was going to kill me. I thought my dad was really going to kill me. I didn't want to give my dad the knife, and I thought that he was going to kill me with the knife. I didn't trust him. I was losing trust in my dad. And I really broke out in anger recently. And ever since that day, I've been really backlashing on myself. I've been really going down in my habits. I've been getting fatter. I've been getting unhealthier. And it's scary. It's scary how my life went from good to bad. You understand? It went from good to worse in a matter of months. But I'm understanding anyway. I want to go watch Batman. I want to go to watch the newest Batman film and just learn to appreciate what I have on the surface. I have to go to Tiesto concert. I'm going to Tiesto concert, and then my legs are gonna hurt on that day, standing up and dancing around for that long. But oh well, I'm gonna enjoy Tiesto, and maybe for the last time as well. So I'm understanding that no matter what, that Sydney life is going away from me now. I'm moving on. I have to change. I have to change my living. I have to really change my living. I have to go to my mum. I have to go live with my mum for a bit, because over here in Sydney, Australia, it's not working out for me personally. But it's working out for me in terms of some of my habits, and also it's working out for me in terms of disability support pension. But all I have here is my dad, the poker crew, and that's it. I feel alone. I feel I have support. I do have support, but not to the point of bettering my life. So I'm on medication. I realize my life needs to get better. Jesus Christ will never put me on this medication. I know that. So they don't know what they're doing. And medication doesn't slow you down or anything like that. But yes, it does. Medication slows you down completely. But the medication that they're giving me, the medication that they're giving me is not slowing me down at all. And it does nothing for me, personally. So hopefully they drop the medication totally off me, so that I can go enjoy my life. And if not, I still have the disability support pension, regardless. So I can live my life anyway. I don't have to work a 9 to 5 job anymore. I can keep going. And if the doctor doesn't want to put me off the medication, then oh well. I still have my disability support pension. I don't have to work a day in my life in Australia anymore. And I'm happy with that. But if I choose to work, if I really want to work, I can really go work somewhere. I can get out of the house, and I have no problem with that. But I have the extra money now. So for myself to grow, I'm learning how to grow myself in the process. And I see how much people have no time to even listen to you. They have no time to follow you. They have no time to like your comments. And I set a pretty good example online but behind the scenes it's not adding up with my online presence, and I understand that. So anyway, I see one guy told me recently to have a shower, and he totally embarrassed me. And oh well, he's right. I have to have a shower. I have to have a shower, and I have to shower often. But I've been showering, but not as often. And I'm growing. I'm seeing how to grow. I mean, life is the way it is, and this too shall pass. This too shall pass. So you just have to learn to grow. I mean, you have to learn to actually experience life in the moment, and you have to understand that my dad, I mean, he takes me out nowhere. I mean, he doesn't take me out anywhere. I mean, he relieves himself of duties with me. I mean, he washes my clothes and he buys me food, and he drives me, and he talks to me, and he's around me. But he's not taking me out to the coffee shop, or I mean, he's not taking me out to the movies. He's not taking me out to fishing. I don't have to be fishing anyway. I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan anyway. So my dad's moving away from me anyway. I mean, this life in Australia is done for. I cannot live like this anymore. I have to change. I have to change for the better. I have to do something much greater for myself, to prosper and to learn and to grow and to love myself every single day. I have to understand that I have to be alone. I'm understanding that the coronavirus period hit me hard, and I was on top of the coronavirus period for quite some time, and then boom, suddenly I got angry. I mean, just one angry attempt got me disability support pension. I've been in hospital multiple times in my life, and on all those occasions I gained weight with the medication, and I couldn't believe it at first. I was like, fuck, I'm a vegan and I'm gaining weight. I mean, even if you're vegan, the paliperidone medication can make you fat. But my mum and dad don't believe so. I mean, they don't believe it's from the medication. I went on a hummus and peanut butter diet, and I have confidence there. I have confidence that I'm not eating that kind of food anymore. I'm not eating preservatives anymore. I don't rely on hummus anymore. I'm not eating bread either. I'm not eating margarine, butter. I'm not eating McDonald's anymore. I'm just learning. I'm learning to progress. I'm learning to progress in my life. And that's the whole point of life. I mean, it's just to progress every single day and to talk it out with yourself every single day to actually do better. And that's it. You must understand that life goes on. But they have to work anyway. They have to go work the 9 to 5. I don't have to. So that's a benefit for me. That they're going to be working for the next year in the 9 to 5 and I don't have to. And then I'm understanding anyway, I'm really growing myself in the process of life. I'm actually always doing better in some form or shape. I see cigarette cravings are coming on now. So I have to be with the feeling. I have to feel my way through life. I understand I'm getting tired too. I understand I can close my eyes and sleep now. And you have to learn to grow anyway. You have to understand every single day to appreciate your life. And I'm really feeling the cigarette cravings right now. So anyway, I just have to stay away from cigarettes. And I can do it. I can do it. See, it's the ultimate test, guys. I mean, it's the ultimate test for me. I mean, it's easy to smoke cigarettes. See, just be with the feeling. I mean, be with it. I mean, what exactly am I doing right now? I'm just talking. I mean, what am I feeling? I mean, what's the feeling? I mean, am I feeling like shit? I mean, I feel my body, whereas my body feels normal. See, my body feels normal, I realize my brain, whereas my brain is just feeling nausea. See, my brain's feeling sheepish. And that's the way it is. Anyway, so I'm being with the feeling right now. I'm learning to progress forward. I'm learning to breathe. I'm learning to breathe anyway. I'm actually growing myself. So now I'm learning that I can go and lay on my bed. See, life can get pretty boring. I mean, life can get boring. That's the way it is. I mean, what do people do all day? I want to understand that. I want to study what people do in life. I mean, they sit around the television, they watch television. I mean, they read a book. I mean, Netflix. I mean, watch a movie. I mean, talk with the family. Stuff like that. I mean, that's it. I mean, you have to learn how to grow yourself in the process of life. I mean, no poker tomorrow. I'm not playing poker tomorrow. I want a break. I want a break from poker. You know, I just grow myself in the process of life. I just grow. I'm looking to bypass time now. I'm laying down. I'm just conversing with myself right here. See, probably nobody's listening to this, but if somebody's listening out there, then guess what? Thank you very much for listening to my podcast. And that's the way it is. So you have to learn how to grow yourself in the process, and you have to learn. I mean, you have to learn to grow. I mean, life can get really boring if you have nothing to do. I mean, what is boring anyway? I mean, boring is not a word. I mean, boring means nothing. I mean, boring is not the definition that it is. I have to unlearn that word, boredom. I don't know what boredom is. I don't know the true meaning of boredom. And that's it, guys. I mean, boredom's confidence. And if I feel bored, I feel confident. And that's it. I mean, boredom's really positivity. I mean, if you want to talk about boredom in life, then talk about anything. I mean, you understand? I mean, boredom's not a word. I mean, boredom has nothing to do with life. I don't know that name, boredom. I don't know what boredom is in life. I have no boredom in my life. And even if I have boredom in my life, I understand it's confidence anyway. I mean, it's got nothing to do with anything else. I mean, when I say I have boredom in my life, I mean, it's more that I have confidence. I mean, you understand? Because boredom is positivity and confidence, and it's contentment, and it's an integrity. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, that's what it truly is. So, yeah. And that makes me feel better. To understand that life is life, and life is the way it is. So when you're growing yourself, you're just looking to grow. And you're looking to understand much more about how to live life. And then you live it from a perspective moving forward with your life, and you just talk it out with yourself. And you learn to specify things like growing yourself and making sure that you're pronouncing yourself much better. But if you just sleep, I mean, if you just be in silence, for example, and you listen to silence, then you can have peace and quiet for yourself, and you can understand that you have privacy at least, and that you don't have to be at Q-Space Hotel, and that you're not in jail, and that you're not overweight and obese like other people, and that you don't smoke cigarettes, for example, and that cigarette craving has gone away now. I mean, you see, I make sure every single time now that when you stay with the feeling, eventually you just start talking about something else. And you start talking to yourself in terms of something else, and then you start doing something else, and that craving for cigarettes goes away. And that's it. It's so simple. And you just have to keep doing it. And you just have to keep changing your approach. I mean, if it didn't work the first time, I mean, Tony Robbins says change your approach about it. I mean, in a sense, so if it doesn't work the first time, then change your approach and do something else. And if it doesn't work on the 10th go, I mean, change your approach and do something else. I mean, in a sense, so that's the way it is. And Tony Robbins has a great life. I mean, the guy's his best version, and he's doing really good for himself. I mean, in a sense. But everybody comes from a different background. I mean, everybody's doing something different. But I attracted a disability support pension in my life, and now I'm glad I have disability support pension, because I don't have to work a 9 to 5 job, and I can lay off the 9 to 5 job for the next 10 years. I don't have to work a 9 to 5 job, and I'm happy with that. When you understand, I'm really happy with that. I can be at home, I can play poker, I can just go out, I can do whatever I want. I don't have to work a 9 to 5 job. I can just be myself, I can lay down, I can relax, I can be in privacy. I have to count my blessings, guys. I have a lot of blessings in my life. But smoking cigarettes and drinking caffeine makes it worse on me. And now caffeine's good for you in terms of peak performance, and it's good for your cognitive processes, and it keeps you awake, and it keeps you performing, but it keeps you up at night. And now the only reason I want to quit caffeine is to quit cigarettes. I mean, in a sense, so the thing is that I can perform really great without caffeine in my life. I don't need caffeine to live life. I don't need cigarettes to live life. But you just start talking about something different. I mean, just start talking to your life about something different, and just be heard about life. I mean, just talk it out. I mean, express yourself in different ways. And the more you actually practice behind the scenes, actually doing stuff that's going to be rapid for you to understand that you are growing yourself in different ways, then you understand how to talk. I mean, you understand how to grow yourself in the moment. and then it's much more about living life in the moment anyway. So it's much more when you crave a cigarette or when you're craving caffeine, I mean, start talking about something different. I mean, talk about something different, because what you talk about all day long is what you are. I mean, in a sense, so if you talk about something different, or if you just do something different, I mean, it's so simple. I mean, it's just a simple act, and just stay that way, and just learn how to process that. And when you wake up in the morning, or when you wake up straight away, start doing an audio program, and start talking to yourself all day long, because that's a meditation process, and it's nice to be able to grow yourself this way. So it's been 40 minutes since I've been talking already, so you just learn. I mean, you learn different things. I mean, you actually grow, and the more you grow, the better you are. And now, the reason why journals have not been much in terms of, I haven't been doing much journals in terms of my writing journals, is because I do it on video and I do it on audio programs. And that's why. And that's it. I understand that no matter what, I'm actually always understanding that I can get more words into life doing audio programs than I can video programs and writing materials. So it's much more about living life in the moment and making sure that you're doing a great job for yourself and learning from the process of life. So it's much more how you need to understand how it is. And some guys just get women. I mean, they get women easily in life because they have money. And you know, I have money too. I mean, but the thing is, they have a body. I mean, they have a great body. I mean, and I mean, it's the way it is. I mean, understand. I mean, but they smoke cigarettes and they get women too. I mean, understand. So they're just around women. And for myself, I haven't been around women in a while. In terms of the way it was in my teenage years. I mean, I was always around women before. And I've been there, done that. I'm moving on now. I'm moving on into something else. I'm moving on into something different. But what am I going to do without my mum and dad in this life? I promise you, in Germany, then, without my mum and dad in this life, and let's say I'm in Germany or in Spain, I have to communicate, I have to build leadership skills here. I have to learn how to reciprocate that, and I have to learn how to live without them. And now I've been living without my mum for 20 years, so I'm understanding how it is to be without a mother, and I'm understanding how it is to be without a father as well. And I'm living in my room now. I'm inside my room right now, but my dad's not with me right now. I'm understanding how to be away from him in life, and I understand how to be away from people, but it's the same thing. I mean, it's just the way it is. So when you're growing yourself without a mother and father in life, you really have to see that if my mother and father die, which they are going to die eventually, then I find myself either in Spain, Germany or Australia now, and time will tell where I go. And time will only tell where I go now from that point. So we'll see. But from that point, I need to develop my communicational skills. I need to keep doing what I do, and that's it. I mean, you understand? So I talked today with a woman who is a social worker, and I told her I got the disability support pension, and she said great, and she said she'll let Olivia know. And I said to her, well, what would you do in my position? I mean, would you get a disability support pension if the doctor gave you the ability to get disability support pension? And she said yeah. I mean, she said she would. I mean, she said she would get the disability support pension as well, because it's extra money and you don't have to work a 9-to-5 job. And that's what Olivia said, and that's what Mira said as well, and my dad as well, and my mum's actually good with that too. So it's much more how it is. So, and the doctor as well gave me the opportunity to get disability support pension, so that's working out for me. So I don't have to work the 9 to 5, so I'm really happy with that, because 9 to 5 work is not for me anyway. But now, since I'm going to my mum's house, I mean, she's gonna finance me. I mean, she's gonna pay for everything for me. So now it's gonna be how it is. So I'm not coming back to Australia anymore. Because if I come back to Australia over here, then I'm gonna have this kind of lifestyle. I'm gonna go to poker, I'm gonna go to the movies, I'm gonna go and see my dad, and that's it. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, just stay home and do this life again. I promise you. So if I never come back, I never have to do this life again, and that's it. I'll go on to new things in life. I mean, it's gonna be much better for me. So it's good to understand something, and it's good to know what's coming up in your life. So what's coming up in my life is my mother, and Germany, and Camino, and going for a walk here and there, and losing weight, and getting off the cigarettes. And now I'm not smoking cigarettes at my mother's house, because my mother cannot afford to have cigarettes for me anyway. So I'm gonna have to quit anyway. So I'm gonna have to quit smoking anyway at my mum's house, which gives me hope. And I'm understanding anyway that this time I want to be able to be over there and be 3 months smoke free by the time I get there. And I want to be 3 months caffeine free as well by the time I get there, so I can get myself in better shape and a better way of life as well, for myself personally. So anyway, it's much more how it is. So as I grow myself, I'm doing much better, so it's much more how I feel. So I'm saying now, I have a feeling that the cigarette cravings are coming on again. So now I just talk about something different. I just go somewhere else, talk about something different, and just be with the feeling, and that's it. I mean, just be with the feeling. I mean, be with the actual smoking of the cigarette. I mean, no. I mean, be with the actual feeling of the smoke of the cigarette. I mean, in a sense, so what I mean is be with the feeling of the cravings for nicotine, is what I mean. And the more you're actually with the feeling, the better you are. And that's how it is. And the new Jurassic Park movie is coming out, so I'm going to go watch that too before I go to Germany. And things are coming up in my life. So I have 3 days of poker each week. I have movies here and there. I have festival coming up. I'll probably go to a nightclub one more time before I go. And yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't feel like dancing with a woman, to be honest. I don't feel like dancing with a man either. I'm not gay, but I don't feel like dancing with women. I mean, it doesn't turn me on. But guys don't turn me on either. I mean, it's just the way it is. So anyway, so now I'm just growing myself, I'm learning. I'm growing myself, and I understand now. That's the thing. I feel like I'm afraid, but I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. See, now the time now is 12:19, so I should be getting my disability support pension now. We'll see if I get it. and if not, then I'll go to Centrelink and I'll try to get it from that point. So it's much more how I feel anyway. So when I grow myself, I learn how to grow. I learn how to be in the moment. I learn to appreciate who I am for what I've done, and I've done something. I've done work in this planet. I've done work in this planet to some point in time, and I have a persona about me online that's forever gonna stay in a perfect condition, and that's it. I mean, am I happy with who I am right now? I promise you, yeah. I have to be happy. I have to be happy with who I am. So that's the way it is. So you have to be happy all the time. But the more I see, the more I do life in different ways, the better I get, and the more I actually deserve much more. So it's much more how I feel. So I feel that I deserve much more in this life. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes to succeed, to have much more in my life. Because everybody deserves more, guys. So you must understand that those who have more deserve it. I mean, in a sense, so you make up your life. I mean, you create your life, and life is a game. And the better you go through life, the better your life. I mean, in a sense, you have to learn to appreciate yourself every single day. You have to learn to talk to yourself in different ways. I mean, you have to learn to talk to yourself in different ways to understand much more about how to live life in the moment. So that's how it is. And you just grow. I mean, you just grow through different ways of explaining and different ways of saying something, but that's nice. I mean, every single day I'm understanding that if I really help myself to understand how to really perform and outperform myself in different ways, I'm always understanding much more about how to live life in the moment. And that's it. I mean, if you want to grow, I mean, you have to learn. I mean, you have to learn how to grow in every single moment. So I still have that cigarette craving going on. So what kind of cigarette craving is it? I mean, what is the feeling associated to that? I mean, it's just a feeling like, hey, there's a cigarette feeling going on. I mean, it's just like to have a cigarette or not to have a cigarette. I mean, you understand? And it's not that. I mean, it's not even that. I mean, that's like 50% chance. But no. I'm not having a cigarette. But the thing is that it's just a feeling like, it's just a feeling. I mean, a feeling of what? I mean, a feeling of like nausea, like sickness. I mean, it's just a feeling of irritation. It's like I'm feeling irritation. Like something's in my brain irritating me. Like something's just like happening in the brain, and the brain's like sending nerve chemicals to say, hey, something like my brain wants dopamine or something like that. So that's it. I mean, in that sense, so if I drink water, I mean, that's gonna help. I mean, drink some water. I haven't had a milkshake in a long time. So it's much more how it is. And my brain just is craving dopamine. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, you understand? I mean, my brain craves dopamine, so if I drink water instead, it's going to be much better for me. And I'm learning how to grow. I'm learning how to process my emotions now. I have to process the feeling. I have to process it. And that's it. I mean, what else can I do? I mean, I don't know what boredom means in life. I don't know that a word. I mean, I don't know what it means. So anyway, I don't know anything about life. So that's why I keep interested, I keep curious. I keep speaking out for myself and I keep learning. Because I'm still a student, that's it. I know nothing. I know nothing. And yes, then. And that's the way it is. I mean, in a sense, so I'm just here, I'm just alone. I'm learning to grow. I mean, if I could sleep 24 hours without a cigarette, then I can go without a cigarette for 24 hours. And more. See, when you're staring at the ceiling or when you're actually in silence, when you're not speaking to anybody, then you're just looking at the stars. I mean, you're looking at things to say. I mean, you're looking to just be silent with yourself and you're just learning to sleep. I mean, you're actually learning that the more you're in silence, the more you listen to silence, the better it is for you, the more peaceful you're going to be, and the better it is in terms of your mindset and how you grow and how you actually learn in terms of life. So it's much more how you're always seeking to learn something and you're always developing yourself in the moment and making sure that you're doing something on purpose to grow yourself. Time shall pass anyway. I mean, time shall pass regardless of what's going on. When you have to be creating something, I feel like eating something. So do I feel like eating something right now? I realize, nah. See, my body's like saying, oh. See, my body's saying something. See, my body's saying McDonald's. I say no McDonald's for me. So the time is 12:27, and my disability support pension hasn't come in yet. So I'm not sure if they're going to give it to me or not. So we'll see. I'm learning quickly. And I'm learning how to perform. I see coffee is not all that bad. I mean, like, you can have coffee, but if you want to quit cigarettes, then you have to quit coffee. I mean, you understand? And that's the way it is. I mean, you don't need coffee to survive. I mean, you don't need coffee to live life. I mean, my dad can control himself. I mean, he has coffee in the morning when he wakes up. And that's it. I mean, that's his coffee for the day, and that's it. I mean, it's just to get him up, and that's it. But me, I abuse coffee, to be honest. I abuse it. And too much abusing of drugs is no good. Anyway, I don't abuse coffee anymore. See, so anyway, now, you just grow. I mean, you just learn to grow. But I think that's more enough for me right now to grow myself anyway. I just want to go in peace. I want to go and learn something. I want to learn how to grow. I want to learn to just be in the moment right now and just be in peace. I see now, for example, for myself to switch off this, I see, nah, just keep going. And it's the way it is. I mean, you just grow yourself and you learn and you grow and you find things to say and do for yourself, and you just understand much more about life, and that's it.